Hello, I'm Mindy Martell, president of Clothier Design Source, and today we're going to talk about our sourcing team, our fabric sourcing team at Clothier Design Source. And we have Salvia with us today. She is one of our sourcing managers. Welcome, Salvia.
Thanks for having me, Mindy.
Yeah, of course. So I just wanted to ask you some questions about working in the fabric sourcing world and working for CDS and just some stuff about your experiences. So some of the things I want to ask you are, so you've been working on probably hundreds of projects since you started here.
Yes.
Right? And you've been with Clothier how long?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. Okay, great. And so you've seen hundreds of projects. You work with fabric vendors all over the world. What are some of the most exciting projects that you've worked on?
So definitely some of the most exciting projects. It's hard to choose. There's a lot. I personally like the technical projects, like finding fire-rated fabrics or completely waterproof fabrics. But definitely the most exciting for me was when we started to develop a scent-infused fiber. So we were trying to make a scented fabric. So it took a lot of research and time to figure out the different ways of making a scented fabric, and then ultimately we decided to start developing a scent-infused fiber.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And then the scent, so you infuse the fiber with the scent, and then how many washings did you want it to last through?
So if you actually impregnate the fiber with the scent, so you'd have like a sheath core type of man-made fiber, and the scent would be infused inside of it. Then that would be blended with like a cotton or something to make it not feel super polyester.
Sure.
And then that should last about 50 to 60 washes.
Oh,
so a
wow.
lot longer than if you just add the
Like
scent.
spray it on
Yeah.
or finish it on
Mhm.
later. That's really cool. 50 washes. Wow. That's great. That's super exciting. I also know of a project which maybe was before your time working here. We worked on a project where we infused fabric with a moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of the same idea. We took the fiber that you would weave together to make the fabric, and we would infuse it with, I think it was shea butter at the time, and it was for infant clothing, and so when the babies were wearing their clothes, it would soften their skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that one was maybe lasted over 30 washes or something, but
Yeah, I
pretty
felt
cool.
that fabric. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that, developing the fabric. That's great. So I know we have you going on some sourcing trips because we have a lot of stuff at our fingertips here in our building. I mean, we have over 2,000 fabric swatches here, but we still want you going out in the world and gathering more. And so tell me, where are you going next, and what are you hoping to see? Or
So my next sourcing trip that I'll be going on, I will be going to New York this summer. I'm hoping to find a few new vendors. Since we work with a lot of startup companies, I'm always looking to find vendors with lower minimums and stock programs, so we are able to make prototypes and do the whole development process with them. I'll also be looking for just new technologies. There's so many new things coming out, and they're really cool to see.
so just anything new.
Yeah, any new trims that we haven't heard of or don't have in our libraries, or any new technical fabrics. Also, just kind of trend watching to see what's kind of coming out for fall 2018.
Right. Cool. Let's see. Well, so when you started working in the fabric sourcing world, it's like a whole different world, right? It's not like going to Joann Fabrics and picking out some fabric. What were some of the most surprising things to you when you started working in that industry?
So my background's in fashion design, and I feel like I was completely unprepared for the sourcing world. Just the sheer size of it and like the limitless possibilities. That really amazed me, and I love it. Like we can literally make anything that we want to.
Right.
So that was kind of mind blowing, but also really exciting to start doing custom trims and all that to make a sketch and then have it come back as a piece.
Yeah, and that's the thing about like when you're working with these fabric vendors or trim vendors, they're like, well, what do you want,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're like, well, what do you have? And they're like, no, what do you want,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, okay, I can have anything?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, that's where the sky's the limit. And that's where, like, infusing a scent in a
Mhm.
fabric or wearing a shirt that moisturizes. But even with the trims, that's something that's always fascinated me. It's like, I don't know, like this bracelet I have on even. These trims were like custom made. Somebody dreamt them up and, did like a 3D drawing and sent it to the vendor, and they had to pick out what metal finish they wanted and all the, how they wanted it finished, all kinds of stuff. So it is pretty amazing what you can do. And but then you need the direction too, right?
Yeah, you need to know what you want with the vendors because you can't just say you want a unicorn, but really it is amazing to be able to just completely customize your brand, from the zipper pull to the actual zipper to buttons with your logo on it to elastic. It's really cool what we can do.
And it really brings up the quality of the garment.
Yes.
It's amazing. Just like a little snap with like your name on
Mhm.
it, all of a sudden it elevates it. Like it doesn't look like it came from a bargain bin or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So as far as like potential clients go for us, like why do you think clients should use us to source their fabrics?
Well, also with the custom trims, we were able to do a lot more as an established company with our vendors. We've also been building relationships with them for years, so they know us, they know what we need, what the quality that we expect. We also are able to source quality, reorderable wholesale materials, which can be kind of hard to find if you're not an established factory. Also, they have great design managers that can help them understand the different types of fabrics, which I think is really important because it can be kind of a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like sky's the limit. Okay, now we have to start narrowing in like what works for your product. But I think you really hit the nail on the head with our relationships. Having our relationships with those vendors, they know when we go to them, we're serious about a project. They're not wasting their time when they're working with us. They know that we know what we're doing. We know what we're asking for, and so therefore, getting them to take us seriously and actually spend their time on our project is actually one of the biggest challenges that, like, our brand owners out there that are on their own and they're starting up, and if they were to go directly to a fabric vendor, it's really hard for that fabric vendor to take them seriously sometimes and actually spend the amount of time it takes.
Yep, they're very, very busy.
Yes.
They have hundreds of other clients as well, and you really do need to build a relationship. I spend a lot of time just getting on the phone with people, if possible, because nobody does that anymore, and just, they hear your voice, they know you're a real person, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then you have that rapport
Yeah.
that helps you when you call back.
Exactly. And, you know, you've been trained in this field and you've been doing this for a couple of years now. We have a whole team built around you too with combined experience of like over 100 years. And, you know the right questions to ask. You know how to call up that vendor and say, I want a jersey knit, 180 grams per meter squared.
Mm-hmm.
I want, 20 singles. I want this Pantone color, whatever it is, but you know how to talk their language.
And quickly.
And get it out quickly, and then you cut to the chase, and then they know how to help you.
Yes.
And it's so, like the general public, I know it gets to be pretty hard to just go to a fabric vendor and do that because they want to know all this information that the general public isn't educated in and they're not ready for or prepared with. And then the fabric vendors kind of just tend to ignore them, I think.
Yeah, definitely, that can be an issue. And just, like I said, they're very busy, so we're able to quickly and accurately get information from them about the type of fabric that you need. So in the long run, you might spend like much longer than it'll take us to find the fabrics.
Right. So it's like, if when people work with us to source their fabric, they're paying for our expertise, but at the same time, they're paying for our, 12 years of being in business and building relationships with these vendors, and that is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
That gets us ahead. So if somebody does work with us and, let's say there's a certain fabric that we're trying to find for them, what does that process look like? Like, what can they expect?
So we have, we call them like 3 different tiers of sourcing. So our most common one is what we call tier 1, which is like stock programs. So these are fabrics that exist, that are in stock, and we can easily access them. Then we have a tier 2 sourcing, which is something that we know has been made before but might not be stocked and ready to order. It has to be made to order. And then there's our tier 3, which is completely custom, like the scented fabric development. And obviously that's got a longer timeline, but the sky's the limit there. So say with the tier 1 sourcing packets, you'll get a polished packet with easily understandable information about each fabric to help you make an accurate decision about what will be best for your product.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll also have a meeting with your design manager who can help explain, if you don't know what GSM is, or different kinds of contents or weaves and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So you really just get a all-around like lesson on fabric.
Yes.
And then also just a bunch of great fabrics to choose from.
Yeah, oh, that's great. Yeah, I think everything you said, plus more emphasis on you have your design manager who's there when you receive a package. So if you're not here locally, which most of our clients are, you receive that package with the different fabric swatches, lots of information on there for you, but then you do get that meeting, the design session with the design manager where they can really help you hone in and make a decision. And sometimes you might have very similar fabrics in the package, but there might be differences on price, or there might be differences on lead time, like how long it takes, or there might be differences on minimum order quantity and price. So there's all these things to consider, and you as the business owner, brand owner, ultimately have to make the final decision, but we're trying to give you enough great options and enough information so you can make that final decision. And then you actually help like go order it for them and gather it, and that's for sample yardage or for bulk yardage when it comes to manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep, we order all the materials and they get shipped here to our warehouse and factory in the back.
Great, cool. Well, I think you answered all my questions. You did awesome. Is there anything else?
No, I think that's all. I just wanted to touch on one more thing.
Yeah.
I know that we obviously stand for Made in USA, ethically sourced materials, and an ethical factory. But I just wanted to say that we're always looking for new fabric vendors in the U.S. to try and bring more of the work back to our country.
That's a great point. Because right now, there's a limited amount of mills running in the U.S. So when we say we work with over 250 vendors, some are in the U.S., some are in Italy, some are in China, some are in India.
Yep.
Other countries, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But all over the world. And so we're always expanding our ethically sourced fabrics. And that'll be probably some of what you're looking for on your trips coming up.
Always, if it's got a Made in USA sticker, I'm instantly interested.
Perfect. All right, well, thanks, Salvia.
Thank you.
It's great having you. I hope you like the videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Do you know we make clothes in the U.S.? We can help you with your clothing line. Check out our website, clothierdesign source.com.